I keep saying they got Reagan and John Paul II both shot so they could force all the little blonde kids to fight a war on drugs with nothing but snake oil and rainbows. Duh, duh, duh. Meh. Until we run out. One does not become a king of Scotland, and anyone who matches the description, by raping Scotsmen in a globalist United Nations system. Look, Scotland has their own standards for how to become a king. It was like time-honored ancient tradition. It's the law for kings. It's become a democracy. Now we have the UN. Wouldn't know a religion if the risen Messiah himself jumped out and bit their asses off. But it's a globalist system, right? Okay, so the Emperor of Japan, you had to lie to the Emperor of Japan. Who the hell do you think you are? The devil himself had 40 days and nights to try the only man that was ever born perfect. And then he would have had to get a warrant or get his bright red ass back in his boat and sail it back to whatever flat Earth-like planet he came from. If that were how you become a king, you'd have to rape the Emperor of Japan. No taxation without representation, Washington. They're going to have to rape literally everybody. They don't know what a religion is. They don't know what a doctor is. They don't know what democracy is. They don't know where money comes from. These people are in charge. This is the prevailing authority. Knock down 3 towers with 2 planes. Blame jet fuel. Call it an inside job. Any religion that rejects Sir Isaac Newton to kill us has to kill everyone that knows who he is. You can put it to a vote. First, do no harm, or you're not a doctor in any religion, and you're at the wrong meeting. I also say every day, sometimes more than once, it is not within the scope of human authority to ban waterboarding without a formal declaration of war. So they did? Well, did the Emperor of Japan convert the global diplomacy into a contest for biggest super ultra mega chicken shit? No, it's Gandhi. Gandhi's the king of kings. So the last king of Scotland comes along and he's like, haha, we're against it. So that's like equal, opposite. And then we're like, well, we're against it too. And he's like, you're not allowed. And we're like, okay. Because we're still cavorting with Gandhi on the side. But if you bothered to read his autobiography, which is a non-fiction book written about oneself, it says in like the first or second chapter, he wasn't even Hindi. Gandhi was not Hindu. So, false prophet or not, he achieved his global accomplishment by marching Hindis face first into the butt of an English rifle. So he sacrificed a bunch of Hindi to stay in charge of losing on behalf of the Hindi. A good guy? Peace is all that matters, right? Smedley Butler said, war is a racket, but undeclared war is just fine. Fine as long as nobody notices. There is but one Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. Not you. You're stupid. Freaking faggots chasing little boys around until they shoot up a school for 60 years. 60 years. People talking about term limits. We're to the point now where we could probably rule out term limits being the only problem. Vladimir Putin was toying with the idea of retiring to the Senate. Ukraine attacks. Now he can't. Can't let him do that. Just attack Russia and blame them. Why not? We rape little boys and blame them until they shoot up a school. Some people just can't be reasoned with. The objective of holy war is not to be one of them. To deprive your enemy of impetus. Sigmund Freud over here chasing preschoolers around 30 years later act like it happened yesterday. So the faggots are out of control, Washington. Well, you're either a Muslim and you have no rights, or you're a faggot. And we don't have to do anything about it because you were the aggressor anyway. The remote control rape colony, or orbital Nazi rape robot. The faggots are out of control. Who do they belong to? They belong to you? Qualified immunity, qualify it. First, do no harm, or you're not a doctor. It's the definition. So that's not it. Who's he talking about? This fucking drag queen on parade? Nah, probably the sacred swine using him as a human shield. Qualified immunity comes from not having a stake in the outcome. Rational authority wants to be correct either way. Like, sometimes it's classified because you just wouldn't understand. I've been trying to reach the CIA for 9 years. a Democrat and a Republican, never been involved with organized crime, never heard of a gangster dumb enough to go looking for trouble where he doesn't need it. Conventional foreign attack. Let's see about that qualified immunity. Diplomatic immunity versus qualified immunity. Who will win? Well, number one, first, do no harm. You're not a doctor anyway, so it would be qualified immunity. Number two, diplomatic immunity fled the United States in 2016. So now we're just under attack by the dumbest phone company. Basically under attack by Somalia, just letting Russians and faggots and Martians. It's a free trade system. You can't tell Russia it's their responsibility to prevent illegal activity here, and they have to stay over there and do it. And be capitalist and be a free trade system. So Islam causes retardation because there's but one Allah and Muhammad's his prophet, and you're not allowed to think about it. But first I shall do no harm, and then I do what I want. Corporate thinks we can't afford to go to trial, so they want to binding arbitration and everything, and then we can't afford to bid. Corporate can't afford a fingerprint. What happens when it turns out corporate did it? You know, their shares go down sharply. There's a significant decrease in their influence. So all these years they've been saying it was an inside job. They were pretending to have an inside source, pretending to negotiate, trying to prove I sold cocaine for 15 years, failing, sent Joey Greco to come do it himself. It's just a bunch of sneaky chicken shit pussy faggots won't take no for an answer.